Hello, hello, hello everyone. This is Kim from K&RP, and today I would like to share with you day 3 of the Friendly Junk Journal People 12 Days of Junk Journal Gift Tutorials, hosted by Linda Israel. The triple pocket that I would like to make today, I am doing on a glossy magazine page that I've got some scrap paint on. I use it up as a mop sheet or just scrape paint off my palette onto magazine pages. So I'm going to show you how I fold the piece to make the triple pockets. So this will be the outside that we are going to work on and embellish. So we'll have the wrong side up, and we're going to fold it hot dog style. As you can see, the raw edge that I had torn isn't exactly straight, but it will be fine for the envelope, not the envelope, the pockets that I am doing today. So you fold it up this way, then you're going to pretend that it's a paper airplane and fold down the corners to the middle. And you're going to do that on both ends. Okay, so then you have a shape like this with the ends folded in. Then you're going to take your glue and you're just going to run a bead of glue along these edges so that when you fold it down, it will stay folded. So you're going to do that on all 4 corners. Doesn't need much, just enough to hold. Now this pocket that I'm folding can actually have 4 sections to it, and I will show you that once it is completely folded. Okay, so now you've got those tacked down, and that's just so that when you're putting things in and out of the pockets, they're not going to snag. Okay, so then you're going to fold it back up so you have sort of a triangle shape with a flat side. I guess it's a parallelogram. And then you're going to not fold it directly in half, although you could if that's the effect you want. But I fold it about, let's do it the other way so that that edge is showing. So I've got about 1 inch from this point to this point. And that will give you 3 pockets when you glue this edge down. So you would have 1 pocket in here, 1 pocket there, and another pocket in the very back section. Now, depending on how you glue this into your journals, if you just glue down this edge and this edge, that will give you a 4th pocket. If you put it on a piece of paper so that it's wedged, you will have 1 pocket here, 1 pocket there, flip it over, and you will have 1 pocket here and 1 pocket there. So that would give you 4 as well. Depending on the thickness of the paper, I will either glue it down solid on this side for more stability, or if I'm putting it on a cardstock, as I say quite often, I'll just do the glue along these 2 edges so that I have a fourth pocket. So I'm going to embellish this first by taking some tissue paper and gluing it down just so that it covers the writing that little bit. So I am going to mark it so that I can cut it. So that there will be a little bit of an overlay, but I will trim it once it is glued down. Tissue is very hard to cut. So that one's for this piece. And then I'll do the same for the front. I will just trace it. And trim it to fit. And as I say, once I have glued it down, I will trim the edges. So then I'm just going to take my scissors and cut the tissue paper. This aside. So what I am going to do is I'm just going to take some liquid glue and I have a card to help spread that glue. Because you want it to hold, but you don't want it to be too wet either. And then just lay the tissue paper down. And press it down. That way it just makes the printing that was on the page that you could see through the paint a little bit more covered. So then I would flip it over and just trim it to the edges. Okay. So then I will do this side the same way. The front of the pocket. Making sure you get right to the edges. Okay. Not quite. Oh, ripped it. Okay, we can fix this. Because we're going to embellish the front a little bit more, the rip is going to be fine. Love when you're doing a video and something goes wrong, it just shows we're all human. Okay. And then again, I will just trim it to size. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the glue just along this bottom edge. And that's going to give my pockets. So as it is now, I have this front pocket. I have a pocket in the middle and a pocket at the back. So that gives the 3 pockets. Now to continue embellishing, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just some solid colored paper and put it along the edge of the border. I just need to find some green solid paper. I will be back in a moment. Okay, I am back and I found some lime green fluorescent-y copy paper. I have all kinds of bits of paper. I used to teach art for kids. So I have 1/4-inch strips, and I think they'll look just nice as an edging along both of the angles, and it will give it that definition. So I'm going to take the glue, and I'm going to run a bead along the edge, and I am going to put the paper down as close to the edge as I can get it. Mop up sponge. So again, I will go and trim these edges once the glue has dried a bit. And I will do the same along this edge. I will run a bead of glue along. Oops. Oh dear. It's a fair bit. So what I'm going to do before I put the edge down is I am going to put a piece of scrap paper in the pocket so that should the glue spread, it doesn't stick it all the way together. And again, I'm just going to lay it along the edge and press it down. Mop up the excess. I like the way that the solid edge looks. You could always do polka dots or hand draw some stitching down it if that's what you would like to do. So then I'm going to flip it over to the back, and I'm just going to trim those ends off. And I will do the same with the bottom. I think that gives it a nice finished looking edge. A little bit of tissue paper sticking up there. We'll see if we can just trim that a bit. Okay. So I think what I'd like to do is add a flower in this corner. I think that will just punch it out a little bit. So because I used to be a recreation director, I have all kinds of little bits of flowers and what have you. These ones actually came from one of those dollar store lays. We had a Hawaiian night, and of course a couple of them fell apart, so I ended up with all these little flat flower pieces. So I'm going to take one that is the leaves, and I'm just going to put a dab of glue and glue this down in the corner. I guess this is probably about half an inch away. And I'm just going to press that down. And because this one's got a bit of a bend in it, I'm just going to add just a little bit of glue to hold it flat. Just so it spreads out a little bit. Okay, and then maybe let's do blue flower. Maybe these need to be ironed first. Not sure. What do I have that's reasonably flat? We'll use these two purple ones. So I'm just going to take them and offset them a little bit. And again, I'm going to put down some glue. Put down one flower piece, a little bit more glue. And I'm going to put the second flower piece down. And let's think of something to put in the middle. Maybe a fun button. Okay, I'm going to get a button and I will return. Okay, I went and dug out a button that I think will be a wonderful center for that flower. It's got quite a nice pattern to it, and I think it looks quite nice in the center. If I'd have thought about that earlier, I would have hand stitched it onto the flower before I put the flower on the pocket, but I didn't. So I'll just take some thread and needle, and just wrap it through the holes on the button a couple of times so it gives the illusion that it has been sewn down. Do it. Went through 3 times. I'll just tie a knot at the back. And cut the threads off quite short. Just so they won't show on the front of the button. Okay, so then I'm going to take some glue, put glue on the threads and the back of the button, and put it in the center of the flower. I think that looks quite cute. It's kind of a silvery colored button. Okay, so I think this is nice and simple, and it's not going to take up too much room in a junk journal. And again, as I say, you've got pocket number 1, pocket number 2, pocket number 3, and depending on how you glue it into your journal, you could have pocket number 4. Oop, button fell off. Guess it needs to be held. I'll clamp that down for a while. And that is my triple pocket piece for day 3. Thanks for watching. Please give me a thumbs up and have a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye.